Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a whole minute. I'm Rosie. This is my Rosie Life. I have tried to do this video a couple of times already and it hasn't worked out. I've had too many issues with it. So I'm just going to do it like this, very casual, because I really want to get this video out. I've had a few people ask me lately, how is it that I'm able to manage everything that I'm doing? Going to school, working, being a mom, all of that. So I wanted to make this video so that I can, explain how it is that I'm able to do it all so far. So first of all, I guess I want to start by saying that I am blessed enough that I have a husband who helps me, and it makes things a little bit easier for me. I know there's a lot of people out there that go at it alone, but I do have help. So one of the first things that I do pretty much at the beginning of every week is prep and plan. I am a big planner. I like to plan out my week, my month, even my year for that matter. I'm just a planner. I'm just naturally a planner. I like to know where I'm going and things like that. So right now, if I haven't mentioned it before, I work seasonally. So I work during tax season, and the company that I work for, this is my 4th year coming back. Before then, I was and have been their receptionist, but it was always my intent to become a tax preparer, and now the time has come, and that is what I am training for right now. So I will be working busy season January through April, maybe even go through May, depending on what they need. But that is what I'm doing right now. So I will be going to school full-time, working part-time, and then still have the responsibilities of mom and wife and everything that comes with that. The first thing that, like I was saying, I do is prep and plan. So I have a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old. The 6-year-old is the one that needs a lot of the help. There's a lot she still can't do for herself, like she can't wake herself up, things like that. She is really the main person in my family that needs me the most. So when the week starts, I make sure that I have all of her stuff ready to go. So all of her outfits for the week are like set out. All of her clothes is clean. I go through her backpack, of course. Her backpack is ready to go on Monday mornings. And I also have a 12-year-old daughter who she is self-sufficient. I raised her that way. She wakes herself up. She gets her clothes ready on her own. Like she doesn't need any of that help. Of course, I still, drive her back and forth to school and back, and anything she needs for like extracurricular activities, of course, I'm there. But as far as the day-to-day, like the little help that my little one needs, she obviously doesn't need any of that. That is one of the things that I prep for. And then also myself, before the week starts, because I'm going to be going to school in the morning and then working at nighttime, I need to have like all of my outfits picked out and just anything that I'm going to need, whether it's snacks in between or lunch or whatever. All of that is prepped ahead of time. I pretty much do as much prepping and planning as I possibly can. So anything that the girls need for the week, like make sure we know where their shoes are at, any permission slips that need to be filled out, rooms need to be clean so we can start the week off good. Just anything that's going to help things move along smoothly, especially in the mornings. That's what we do. We prep all that. And that leads into meal planning. Meal planning is, I think, one of the most important things that I do, because everybody has to eat and we're basically rushing from one thing to the other. A lot of the times, my daughter, my oldest, is also in athletics, and so sometimes she has basketball games, and that's a whole nother thing. But meal planning is huge. Like, because I'm so busy, I do not have time to like the day of try to figure out, well, what are we going to eat? That needs to have already been pre-planned and prepped well in advance. I needed to go to the grocery, like I go to the grocery store on the weekends, or I order groceries, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Whatever, but the refrigerator has to be stocked with the stuff that I need for the meals that I'm going to make. And also, these meals that I make Monday to Friday, they're easy meals. They're like crock pot meals, like dump meals, or 30-minute meals, things that don't take a long time, like tacos or something like that. That's just where we're at right now. If I want to make like this big meal, it has to be really on the weekends. But honestly, on the weekends, I don't feel like doing anything. So weekends we either eat out or leftovers, which that's another thing too, that I always leave 2 days for leftovers because it makes things easier. The food gets eaten, it helps the budget, and just there's no food waste. But Fridays typically are like pizza day or something. I don't do anything. I'm pretty wiped by Friday. So yeah, that's a really big thing that I do, and I have to do every week. I also want to talk about convenience. Like right now at this stage in my life, I choose convenience over everything. So I do buy, like I said, or I do make a lot of like easy meals. I do buy a lot of like prepackaged snacks and things like that. That is just going to help our days go long, because honestly, I don't want to waste an additional 15-20 minutes chopping veggies for the week, or like fruits and whatever. It's just, I'm just going to buy it prepackaged and that's it. Like I don't even feel bad about it. And then even with like the groceries themselves, like I can easily spend 2 hours at the grocery store, because I like going through every aisle and just looking. I do make a grocery list, but I like looking to see what I might need that I forgot, or what's new out there that we could try, stuff like that. But right now, because my time is very valuable, because I don't have a lot of time for myself anymore, I do a lot of online ordering. And so if my husband can go pick it up, he'll pick it up, and if he can't, I'll have them deliver. I'll pay the extra fee to have it delivered. That's just kind of where I'm at right now, and what I choose. I choose my time over a few dollars at this point. So I choose convenience. Whatever is going to make our life easier, less stressful, go a little quicker, that kind of thing. That's another thing that I do. And then also though, like not every day goes exactly the way that we wanted it to go. Like even with all of my planning and schedules and everything, things happen, and so everything doesn't always go like we want it. And so on those days, whether I don't know, somebody got sick or I myself got sick and don't have the energy to push and do everything that I need to, I know what my priorities are. So my priorities right now in this stage of my life is school and my kids. And really, that's putting school before even my kids sometimes. And I'll explain. So when right now, the way that my husband and I work things out is in the evenings, when like if my daughter has like a choir event or a basketball game, and if I have like a test that I need to study for and I can't make it, he goes to those events and those games if I can't. And then during the day when he's working and he's providing for our family, obviously if my girls get sick and the nurse calls to come pick them up, he's not going to leave work. So I leave school, or I leave work really, to go handle my business with my girls, to go take care of the situation. And that's just kind of how it is. So at the end of the day, if we have an off day where nothing goes as planned, as long as I go to school and I feed my girls, that's it. like, if that's all I could do, that's all I could do. I'm not going to stress about that I didn't get this, that, or the other, because I know that I can easily pick it up in the next day or in my next routine cycle or whatever. And so that leads to also I have a lot of routines set in. Okay, so I have a lot of like routines set throughout my household and my day. So what I mean by that is I have a like bedtime routine, I have a morning routine, I have an afternoon routine. And so everybody in my household, I have taught everybody, including my husband, what needs to get done and when it needs to get done. So I don't have to be here for all these things to get done, because everybody already knows that before you go to bed, you're going to pick up your area and you're going to pick up the bathroom. Or in the morning before you go to school, you're going to pick up your clothes from the bathroom, and you're not going to leave like all the stuff scattered around that you used to get ready. So afternoons, homework gets done. So we all know what needs to be done. My girls have like chore charts or lists that they look at to make sure they got everything done. And it's not a lot. It takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes, because since we do it every day, it's not like we're spending all this time doing all these chores. It's just picking up after yourself. It's really what it is. So I have a lot of things like that throughout the years that I've built into our family. A lot of routines to help our family flow. And it's those routines that are helping me right now when I'm so busy, because like I said, I'm going to be working nights. I don't have to be here, but my husband knows that girls go to bed at 8. This is what needs to be done before. The girls know that. We all know. We're all on the same page. And so last, one of the questions that I got is, how do I, with all of what I have going on, spend quality time with my kids and my husband? And the way that I've been able to do it is there are like pockets in my schedule throughout the day that I spend quality time. So for example, in the mornings, I wake up way earlier than I actually need to. And that's because I need time in the morning to sort of like ground myself and just do things for myself. So like I'll either listen to music or either listen to like some sort of motivational speech, or pray, or whatever it is that I need to do that morning, or that I feel like doing that morning. But all of that is to just sort of help me start my day right. I drink my coffee. I take my time drinking my coffee to wake up, to get going. It just helps me start my day off on a positive note. So I sort of set up their mornings that way as well. They wake up way earlier than they probably need to, but again, that is so that they can have time to get ready. And I don't like feeling rushed. I hate that feeling of feeling rushed. And so for my daughters, I wanted them for their mornings to start off good as well. So they also wake up slowly and they have time to wake up, and then I make them breakfast. And right there, that is a time where I'll sit with them. Most of the time I'll sit with them and we'll talk about how the day is going to go, or, just whatever. My little one is really chatty and funny right now, so it's kind of funny to just talk to her, because you just never know where she's going to go with the conversation. And my oldest is, she likes to talk too. So in the mornings, it's kind of like our time, our morning time. Dad is usually gone by then. Like, he doesn't do the morning with us because he has to leave so early. And I even, my husband and I even have a little bit of time in the mornings that we take for each other. And it's not a lot of time. It's like 10 minutes, but it's 10 minutes of just, being together and starting the day off good. So that's what I do with my husband. Okay, so that's the mornings. And then it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm in school or whether I'm working. I always have that pocket from about 3 to 5:30 where wherever I'm at, I set my schedule around that because I have to go pick up my girls. Like, they don't ride the bus or anything. I go pick them up from school, so I need that time. So when I pick up my youngest first, and then I pick up my oldest when she's done with athletics. And I use that time, those 2.5 hours, to really focus on my girls. My little one, when I pick her up and we come home and she eats her snack, and I sit with her and I talk with her and I ask her about her day and how was your day today and who was your best friend, who did you play with, and what, just like all of that. And then now she's getting to the age where she'll ask me, like, how was your day today at school, Mommy, and what did you learn? And it's like it's just a really nice experience, and I enjoy spending time with my kids and really talking to them and catching up with them, since I'm no longer a stay-at-home mom. I'm not there all the time. So those are the moments that I take to really catch up with her. And then when we go pick up my oldest, it's the same thing. We pick her up and I get filled in on the day and how it went, whether it was good or bad, any issues, like all of that. Then we come home and she eats her snack before dinner. And a lot of the times, dinner is ready by about 5:30 because it'll be either, like I said, a crock pot meal or a quick meal. So then my husband comes in right around 5:30ish, and we'll eat dinner as a family quickly because right now I'm having to rush out. And again, that's another time for us to just kind of catch up. And then also, like, on my table, I have like small games, like we have Uno or tic-tac-toe, or just, I can't think of other games right now, but we have little games that we play as a family when we sit and eat dinner together. So that just kind of helps us play with our kids and stuff, and helps those conversations going and just having fun. And then another, obviously, a pocket that I have is bedtime. So when I'm not working and if I'm here for bedtime, that's the time that I also use so that I can, again, talk with my kids, play with my kids, and just whatever. So there's throughout the day. Okay, so then I was going to talk about also bedtime. So bedtime, my husband and I, we put the girls down at 8. Like, no matter what, these girls go to bed at 8. And we started doing that like 4 years ago because we at that point we had been letting the girls stay up late, and by the time that we put them to bed, him and I were wiped, and we were not really spending any time together, just him and I as husband and wife, because we were so tired. And then so we decided, you know what, like, we're gonna start putting the girls to bed at 8 no matter what. So obviously about 7:30 we start getting that going. And so they're so used to it now that their bodies are like ready to go to bed at that time, and they fall asleep pretty fast. And that gives my husband and I about 1 to 2 hours to just spend with each other, really. So we sometimes watch a show, like a favorite show or a movie, or we catch up if we need to talk. Sometimes we'll eat a late snack together. I mean, whatever, snuggle, things like that. That's where we have been able to find our quality time every day, because I feel like that's really important too when you have such a hectic schedule, to keep your marriage alive, because it's really easy to get caught up on the day to day. So it's important for to find time with your spouse, your significant other, but also your kids. So these are things that I just really have worked hard at throughout the years. Hard to do, and then hard to implement into our day-to-day routine, and I think we're at a point where it just now comes natural. That is, in a nutshell, kind of how I've been able to manage school and work and quality time. I guess I should have touched on this a little bit earlier, but you might wonder, like, well, where do you find time to study or whatever? So the way that I've set my schedule up is I go to school in the mornings, and then I work in the evenings or the nighttime. But I don't go to school like straight, like 8 to 3. There are also in there pockets of time where I'm not in class, like 1 hour or 2 hour before the next class. And that is where I am doing my homework, I'm reading my chapters. So I try to do as much as I can before I come home, because I don't want to have to come home with homework or during the week. During the weekend, it's fine, but during the week, because I'm so busy, I am doing as much as my reading, my homework that I need to get done at school, and they have all the resources there. I could jump on a computer, I can do my work. So that's kind of how I have set my time to do my homework there. And then, of course, if I couldn't get it all done, then, too bad. So sad for me. I have to come home and finish it. Like, I have to find it. There's just no way around it. If I have to stay up later, then that's what I have to do. But that doesn't really happen, or hasn't happened that much. So I'm hoping that I can still keep that going. I hope this helps. So if you guys have any questions, y'all can just leave them in the comments or ask it in my Instagram page. But this is pretty much it. This is kind of how I've been able to manage it all. Like I said, I have help, so that's I have my husband, so that's a huge help for me. And just if I would say anything, it's the meal planning and the prepping and the planning before the week starts. Those are the main things that have helped me get through 1 year of working, college, family, all of that. And I still have another this whole year, and I graduate spring of 21. So thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.